Hola, wrestling fans. This is Smart Mark with the IWO show, a.k.a. the Impact Wrestling Observer, and this is your report for February 2nd, 2012, and it happens to be my daughter Leela's birthday, so say happy birthday to Leela. And what an impact from Wembley Arena in London, England. And the show opened with a great video package just about TNA being in London and what it just really looked like the place to be. And I'll start off just, open up this show by saying that this is one of, definitely top 5 impacts ever. This was one of, honestly, the best wrestling television programs I think I've ever seen. And some of that probably comes down to the bias of wanting to see Impact look like this. But so much happened and it just flew by. The show opened with Bully Ray, Bobby Roode in the ring. They come out to the ring and start basically talking about how Jeff Hardy is done because they put him through a table, and just kind of talking their shit. And then James Storm comes out saying he wants to fight both of them in a handicap match. Well, then Sting comes out and is like, no, we're not going to have a handicap match, but what we are going to do is have a 4-way match for the title at the Against All Odds pay-per-view, which I think other people kind of saw that coming. It makes sense, and I think that will be a fun match to watch. This evening, though, he sets it up for James Storm to first fight Bobby Roode, and then he'll get Bully Ray. So Storm did pull double duty tonight, and, Bobby Roode is the champion. Now, in the end, this did what it needed to do to an extent, except for the fact that when you're standing in the ring with the champion and his muscle, more or less, wouldn't you think it should be that Storm has to beat Bully Ray and then get James Storm has to beat Bully Ray, then get Bobby Roode? I don't know. But the way it played out, it kind of was all to ultimately build sympathy for Storm going into the match with Bully Ray. Anyway, we'll come back to that. Joe and Magnus against Crimson and Morgan is the first match of the evening, and it was kind of weird rules to the match. They did a coin toss at the beginning, and which Joe and Magnus won the coin toss. I think this was called like a Buckingham Brawl, I think I heard them say. So basically by Joe and Magnus winning the coin toss, they got to both be in the ring at all times, whereas Crimson and Morgan had to tag in and out. As soon as you hear the rules, this is built for bad guys to get heat. And that's, so Joe and Magnus win that. They're in there, able to just beat down throughout the match. A couple of points where Crimson and Morgan, were winning, but the numbers game being too much at any given time, and eventually, with the crowd firmly behind Magnus, which was awesome, they did this finisher where Joe kind of suplexes, I think, Crimson, and then, was it Crimson? Anyway, then Magnus comes off the top rope with the elbow. It looks cool, and these guys are really working well together, and, they need to put the belts on Joe and Magnus and look at it as a big picture kind of thing for the tag team division as a whole. Because they put the belts on them, Crimson and Morgan can try to win them back, And I think, inevitably the whole point with Crimson and Morgan is to split them up anyways to fight against each other. But, when you got something that ain't broke, there's really no reason to fix it. And Crimson and Morgan are probably, they're so impressive next to each other as a tag team that I really hope they push that off. I think when they're sitting there talking about when we do this, when are we going to do that, I think they just need to keep pushing it back when it comes to breaking them up, because it's working and it's making for good TV, their feud with Joe and Magnus. Then we see Garrett Bischoff talking on the phone to his, trainer, and we come back and Eric Bischoff's coming down the ring, calls out Garrett, and I think Garrett's got some intro music. I can't remember having heard that before. So, making him out to be the real deal. So they go through this thing in the ring, and Garrett gets a phone call from the trainer. Oh, he's in the building. The whole time Eric's like, oh, he's not going to come out. He's not coming. He's afraid. Oh, he's here. And that's basically all we get is he is in the building. Now, where they totally fucked up is by announcing at the beginning of the show that Hulk Hogan is making his return. And then, couple of times throughout the show, Hogan's making his return tonight. Well, it's just, so they're trying to use this he is here, but was there any fucking doubt that it was Hogan? Even if you never listen to anybody's reviews, never look at the spoilers and whatnot, I think at that point they've all but told you it's Hulk Hogan. So I don't know what that's all about. Why they had to say that Hogan was coming in at the beginning. Just anyways, so then we get Mark Haskins, who making a very rare appearance. I don't know if they use him in dark matches or what, but he's cutting a promo and it's setting up him against Austin Aries, which we need more of these kinds of matches, honestly, especially when they last year we're really going to propel the X Division back to what it was. Well, sometimes you can have a match with your champion against a guy, and it doesn't have to be about that guy becoming the number one contender or, pushing some kind of great storyline. It's just a match to make your champion look good. And that's why I liked this. Haskins had his moments, but Aries got a dominant win in the end. And, we need these kinds of matches from time to time. Not everything has to be about something more than making your stars look good. Then they do the Storm and Bobby Roode match, which was good, and ended with Bully Ray coming out and interfering, and basically went to trip up James Storm, and Bobby Roode hit him with a spear to get the win. I can't remember a time having seen Bobby Roode do the spear before, so I thought that was an interesting way to finish it, but, well, so basically and then Bobby Roode puts down the belt, and Bully Ray does that, side slam or whatever to Storm on the belt, basically setting up, the angle that he's going to have some injured ribs going into the next match. Behind that, we get Tara versus Gail Kim. Now, they're getting ready to fight at the pay-per-view for the title. This is a non-title match that, honestly, did not need to happen. I think this is a match that kind of was scratching my head. I think the thing to have done here would be a tag team match. You know, Gail and Madison are tag team champs, and Tara and Miss Tessmacher are a legitimate tag team. So it just, if Tara's already got the title match, wouldn't it have been a good angle if Tara and Tessmacher won the tag team titles first, and then going into the match, you know, there's that opportunity for her to completely strip Gail Kim of everything. But, you know, instinct tells me, although Tara got the win with the Widow's Peak after Madison tried to interfere in the match, failed, you know, Tara hits the Widow's Peak to get the win. My instinct says that's not how it's going to go down at the pay-per-view. It did make you believe that Tara can beat her at least. You know, the casual fan say, well, she already beat her once. She can beat her for the title now. So we'll see. But it's not going to happen. Then we get Garrett coming out, and he's about to say, come on out here. But then Eric comes out with Gunner. And again, they're trying to be like, oh, we know he's not really here. And then Hogan's music hits Brother. And he comes out, beats up on Gunner a little bit. Him and Garrett both. And chase Eric Bischoff out of the ring. The segment in and of itself, I've seen better. But what happens afterwards was one of the best moments for Hogan, I think, in his entire run. Because he did a promo after the match. It was cut in, you know, Garrett Bischoff giving his promo too, but really it was mostly about Hogan. And, brother, the Hulkamaniacs are on board, brother, and we're going to sniff out Eric Bischoff, brother. TNA is right there. They're on the mountaintop. I don't know. It was hearing him talk about the Maniacs. And it was just so good. And I'll throw TNA on my back, and I'll lead the charge. This is what probably should have been more of the approach when Hogan first came in. But, hey, we're here now, and it's fun stuff. And I don't know exactly where this is going with Hogan. I mean, obviously, we'll probably at Lockdown see the match I think others have predicted with Hogan and Garrett versus Hogan and Garrett against Gunner and Eric Bischoff. But at this point, it's all gravy, because behind that promo, anything Hogan does, I'm on board right now. So I might be in the minority. I don't know. I haven't heard what you guys had to say yet, but I'll be checking that out. And I don't know. Hopefully some others are excited about this. Then we get the Bully Ray and James Storm match. You know, James Storm comes out, taped up. Bully Ray obviously trying to exploit the injury. And he's at the beginning, I'm going to break your ribs. And they're like, yeah, I think everybody knows what Bully Ray's plan is. I mean, just saying it over and over. And the crowd during which I want to come back to how fucking awesome did this show look, you know? If they were putting on shows like this every week, now I know, you know, you're not going to be in Wembley Arena every week, but if this is what we became accustomed to instead of the fucking boring-ass Impact Zone, if this was the show's look, they would be getting higher and higher ratings. It's just a completely different feel. It feels like a real fucking show, you know? Not some studio taped shit. It feels like a big deal. And it was a big deal. And I don't know, I'm on fire about it. I look forward to next week's show, sure, when they do these, you know, 2-for-1 shows at places. The second show is never quite as good, but I still, you know, I look forward to it because it's not in the fucking Impact Zone. James Storm did get the win, basically. Bobby Roode fucked up his, trying to interfere for Bully Ray's benefit and set up for Storm to win. And it's the way it should have been. You know, part of me, I don't know, I think it's just the smart Mark in me saying, why can't Bully Ray ever get a fucking bone thrown to him, you know? Especially, they're going to throw him in this. I hope to God he wins. Honestly, I hope Bully Ray is the next fucking world champion. Yeah, I'm down with it, you know, Rude retaining or James Storm winning, but after I just, you know, we were so excited to see Storm and Rude get their title. You know, obviously Rude's had the longer run, but Storm is a former champion as well, and we're all, oh, finally these guys are getting over. Well, fucking Bully Ray's been around, you know, for years and years. And as far as heels go, I'm sorry, but that's probably why they put him with Bobby Roode, because Bully Ray's better at getting heel heat. And, I don't know, I just throw a swerve in there. Make Bully Ray the champion, you know? Maybe start the inevitable slide back into babyface for Bobby Roode. I don't know. Just don't put it on Hardy. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, so I'm going to give this show an A-. The women's match, I felt like that was a weird way to go there. I don't know what's going on with the TV title, why they haven't. I mean, we've seen Robbie E a couple of times on it. You know, part of me wonders if there's a reason they're not having him defend that title right now, because when he first won it, it was like, bam, 2 or 3 weeks of title matches, or at least, you know, something. So maybe they're going to retool it, maybe they're going to, I don't know, but they need to do something with that belt. And I get sick of saying it week after week, you know, but week after week, they don't. So, again, it's the things that we don't see. I will say this, the backstage promos and all the other craziness that most of you guys bitch about, this show was pretty devoid of most of that. There was way less promos, way more in-ring action, and I would be surprised if I didn't hear a lot more good, positive feedback about this episode. So, yeah, I'm giving it an A-. I was really excited as soon as the show opened. Yeah, and I think it paid off. There was good matches and good action throughout the show. So, please leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Do it makes you feel good, okay? Until next time, this is Smart Mark saying peace out, motherfuckers.